One thing I know about you, Oliver, is that I feel like you spend your time quite productively and that you organise your time quite well. Just to give like one little example, is that when we arrange a catch-up call together, I put it in your calendar.
Okay.
Do you want to talk to me a bit more about how you kind of organise your time and how you spend time?
Sure. Yeah. This has varied a lot over the years, how productive I've felt and how productive I've been. I think right now, to me, the single most important thing to being productive is like breaking tasks down into manageable bits. Like if I have this sort of nebulous large task that I don't know how to approach, I'm just gonna go to my room and watch YouTube instead, and then like 2 days later, like I really need to do the task, and then I'm gonna get my shit together and do it. But if I instead take that larger task and break it up into pieces where I can start right now and solve one of those pieces, check one of those checkbox, feel like I get momentum, and then check another box, and sort of get going, that really, really matters to me. So I've been a big fan of making checklists, even making I think it's really nice to sort of physically have some sort of representation of your progress. So back in school, I used to always make like a big board with Post-it notes for every exam period. So if you have like 4 exams or 4 different courses and whatever other projects you're doing, you make one side which is like to do, and you put like 50 Post-it notes or whatever it is on this to do side. And then as you progress through the sort of studying period, you move these sticky notes to the other side, and you sort of get this sort of clear sense of accomplishments of those things are moving from one side to the other, and it's just
you can physically see the movement and growth.
Exactly, and that's just very satisfying. And because all the work we do these days it's so theoretical and so abstract that you don't like if you're plowing your fields, like it's so clear, you can see the plants grow, you can see yourself making the sort of the holes in the ground. But all the work we do, or most people do, it's you can't really see that. So you need to construct this sort of setting where you can actually see the progress of your work more clearly.
That's actually a really interesting one. The ability to actually see what you're doing can have a massive effect on kind of your motivation for that thing. And I think it goes back to the work and kind of having ownership and responsibility with things. When you can see the work that you're putting in and you can see the output, it makes you more motivated to do it, right? And I think the other thing that I want to ask is that organizing your time like that and kind of breaking it down into smaller chunks, do you also feel like you're more mentally at ease and it makes you less stressed, maybe?
100%. Like if I know what needs to get done, then there's 2 options, right? Like either I do them or I don't do them. But let's put it like this. Okay, so there's 2 options. Then you either I have enough time to do them, then there's no stress. You can just do them. Or there's not enough time to do them. Then there's not enough time to do them. There's nothing to stress about. Whereas what is stressful to me is when you're in this situation where you don't know how much work there is to actually get done. You don't know if you can do it, and you don't know what to do. Then you're like, what should I do? Should I just go work, or should I go watch Netflix, or should I go hang out with a friend? It becomes a sort of, I don't know what to do. Whereas if you have this clear picture of, actually it's this, and this that needs to get done, you can make a much more sort of clear and informed decision, and there isn't this need to be stressed about it.
Sure, it's manageable.
It very much is. And if it's too much, then you just have to cut things. Then you just like, okay, I can't do all of this, and I'll cut this, I prioritize this. But then at least it's clear. I think this sort of feeling of uncertainty is really what triggers most of my sort of mental health badness, or like the feelings of me feeling bad comes from just not knowing what to do. I think this connects into like social relationships as well, where at least for me, what makes me feel bad is not knowing what I should do next. Like if I think about having a crush on someone, I think it feels worse to have a crush and not be sure if the person likes you back or not than just getting rejected. Like being rejected actually, yeah, it sucks for a bit, but then it's not
Yes.
so bad.
Yeah.
What feels bad is the not knowing
The
if they like you or
uncertainty.
not. Yeah.